Hello, everyone. I'm very short. No, okay. Hey, everybody. Erica Reddick here at AmFest 2023. Getting to have a conversation with someone we met here in 2022. Yes. Now, Mr. HollyWood Morris, you actually interviewed Benjamin and I last year.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you were getting your podcast started. You're getting into the political realm.
Yes.
This was your first, it was your first TPUSA event, right?
Correct.
And I think I remember talking, being like, did you think it was going to be a bunch of crazy racist people when you walked in? Because that's what they call us.
Right.
Right? So this is your second year at AmFest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell us what has happened in the last year since your first event to now.
Yes.
Catch us up.
Well, you two were the couple that I had to find over anyone else because of what you shared in our interview. And I had no idea what you guys were preparing me for this year, especially with the mini documentary about the border.
Okay.
That stayed with me, Erica. I've watched it probably 5 times. My wife was like, don't play it again. I got it.
I love it.
What stood out to me was what you guys shared with me about it. And you said, you know, we were tired of having left or right talking points, and we wanted to go investigate for ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
I had no idea what was going to happen to me, which was, you know, I told you guys a little bit about Support Our Shields last year. I wasn't doing it. I was doing the videos, you know, defending law enforcement, but I was not going out as much and meeting with law enforcement. So what happened was this summer, I go to Bay St. Louis, Mississippi.
Okay.
And they had 2 officers killed a year ago almost today. Both shot in the head before Christmas.
Oh my God.
In this small town that hadn't had a homicide in 2 decades. So I reach out to the sheriff.
Okay.
And I say, you know, I explained to him what about Support Our Shields. And he was like, yeah, you know, the family is going to come, meet with them, you know, present a plaque. Their son was 23, by the way, and the sergeant was 34. So young men. Exactly.
Oh.
It was such a powerful experience that they asked me one thing: could I do this could I go to as many states as I could and do for those families and those law enforcement agencies that I did there? So 35,000 miles later, and yes, 25 states and 34 officers recognized this year was what I said I have to share with you guys in person, because when you did what you did about breaking the mainstream media narrative, I was like, that was what this was preparing me for, because when you go and put yourself out there and you meet with people directly and you cover a situation personally, you have no idea what doors that are going to open and how it's going to impact your heart and your life.
Wow.
That's what I had to share with you.
Oh my God. Okay, I just got goosebumps. I'm going to cry. Oh my God, come here. Bring it in. Bring it in.
Yes.
Bring it in. Oh my gosh. Well, how amazing is that?
Yes.
So so last year, basically, you were dipping your toes in,
Correct.
getting it, whatever, and then you kind of found a calling, found a purpose.
That's exactly. See, and I knew that you would understand. That's why I was saying, just following your testimony, I was like, that's why we spent so much time a year ago today talking. I was like, I didn't understand it then. And so, you know, I was like, I cannot leave without sharing with you guys literally how that prepared me. And I mean, I've made so many flight mistakes with itineraries of booking wrong cities because my mind is fried. But every time that you sit down, even with your campaign run, and you were sharing with me, it gets... You stop focusing on numbers and literally what the real cause is, the people's lives that are being affected.
That's right.
And you were saying that's what gave you the energy to take the hits and keep going. And I was like, now it's not just your story. Now I'm walking what you walk.
Because this is what I found, and it sounds like what you found, is that if I was just doing this for myself, for like fame
Correct.
or fortune or whatever they think that we're doing this
Yes.
for, I would have quit a long time ago.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it's not worth it.
Right.
It's not worth it. But when you realize that you're fighting for families,
Yes.
you're fighting for innocent people,
Yes.
you're fighting for the voiceless,
Yes.
that gives you the strength to get up every day
To
and
do it
keep
again.
fighting
Yes.
over and over and over again. And I think that is the thing, that if we could all just remember that, if everybody out there could remember that, like, we're not asking you to stand up just for you. We're not asking you to run for office or go to school board for you. We're asking you to do that for all of the families, for the children, to stand up and be part of the solution and not part of the problem.
Correct.
And so what would you say has been the most impactful thing this year, that, like, what was your greatest lesson in working with folks and because this is very intimate.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What you're doing is not casual. You're not just showing up to things and being like, everyone is stupid. Rah.
Yes.
Like, you're doing something very intimate,
Yes.
very meaningful.
Yes.
So share with our viewers, what has been your greatest lesson, greatest takeaway?
Oh, yeah, totally. It is when you talk. So I had a widow. Her husband died, line of duty this summer.
Okay.
And the police department gave her my number, and I called. She called me, and I returned her call, and she hung up on me as I was explaining who I was, and I was like, well. And then she texts back, and she said, "I'm so sorry. I understand if you never want to talk to me again, but I'm having a really bad day." And this was where, again, like you said, we're being prepared. He's preparing us for a bigger, for a bigger mission. And I called her back. I said, "Listen, I'm not living what you're living."
No.
And she said, "I feel like no one understands, because for the first time I'm registering my kids for school and their dad is not there." And there I was like, what? No one knows, that pain of that. And I was like, okay, you just want to go there and give them a hug. And it's like you said, it's not about the lights and the camera and the media attention. And I left from there, and then you go to Chautauqua, Wisconsin.
Okay.
I couldn't find it on a map before I went there.
I don't even know how to spell that.
Correct.
I have no idea.
That makes two of us. Well, their officer, Emily Breitenbach, was 32 years old. She was supposed to be married 2 months ago. She was shot and killed this summer, along with Hunter Shield, a 23-year-old that had only been on the force for 6 months. And I'm sitting with the chief of that small town. They have less than 2,000 people, and he says, "HollyWood."
What?
And literally, Hunter was one of 2 full-time officers. And so I'm in a police station that's not too much bigger than our space here, and he's answering calls, and this is the chief of police.
Yep.
And he's explaining to me, if there's an emergency, we're going to have to cut this meeting short because I am the one on the call. And he says, "I played football with this kid's dad." And he said, "I'm the one that had to go over and tell them their son is not coming home." And this, like you said, all of the talking points and the yelling, it goes away, Eric. At that point, you're like, these are real people.
Yep.
These are real lives that are being lost.
Yeah.
That is, and like you said, it gives you the motivation the next day to go to the next one and the next one and the next one.
Oh my gosh.
So,
okay.
Yeah, that's what it taught me.
So before I get all emotional and forget, share with our viewers your podcast. Where do they find it? Where can they follow you on the socials?
Yes. Thank you. It is supportourshields.com.
Okay.
And on social media, especially Facebook and YouTube, it's at Support Our Shields. And I intentionally go through it and share the stories of those officers and what happened, because I notice, again, if it's not a narrative that we can sow division on, they don't get the attention. Correct.
They don't want it.
They're totally not interested in it.
If the message you're sending isn't dehumanizing
Correct.
people, tearing down the other side, calling them names and whatever, heaven forbid you should have some kind of conversation that would bring people together or humanize law enforcement.
And that has been a part of the experience that has been such a blessing, because yeah, I understand the history of Mississippi. You know, my dad was born and raised in Jim Crow, Alabama. I was like,
This
so
we okay.
I was like,
You can go ahead. I'm
yes.
sorry, finish.
And what I've shared with people, I was like, yeah, that's not today. So why would I harbor something against people who weren't alive 60 years ago? Their son, they just lost them. But you have no idea what walls it will break
That's
down
right.
when you come and put your arms around people and say, his life matters.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't even talk anymore. I'm not even going to keep going. That was it. Say that. What was that last line again?
Yes.
Lives matter.
Yes.
Lives matter, you guys. All lives matter.
Correct.
And I don't care if you call me an istophobe for saying it. I love it. Benjamin, would you come over here? I want to just say thank you.
Yes.
I want to thank you because, you know, it was fantastic to get to talk to you and get to know you last year. Benjamin has been such a great support of mine, and I want you to know how much it means that we got to see you again this
Yes.
year and hear your story, because we don't know that what we do matters. You know, we don't know that this affects people or that we've had an impact. And so I just want to thank you for coming and for seeking us out and making sure to say hi.
I had to, because I said I waited. I was like, I didn't tell them off camera. I wanted to tell you guys because, you know, when we get together, it's totally unscripted. I said, I'm waiting. Before I fly out, I got to tell you guys, watching what the walk you guys did, you never know who you're influencing, not only here, but across the country.
Amen.
So that's the least I can do for the impact that you guys had on me.
Thank you.
You guys.
Thank you.
Proud of you, bro.
Thank you.
Proud of you, man.
And remember, it's true for you guys too. Okay, if you think you're not making a difference, you are. Don't give up. All right. Thanks, HollyWood.
Oh, we held it together.